So, Rosie, where do you live and how long have you lived there?
I live in Worcester, Massachusetts.
I live on West 57th Street, which is the center of Midtown Manhattan.
I live in New York City, Manhattan, the Upper East Side.
I live in New York City, the borough of Manhattan.
I have lived in Meriden for 50 years. All my life I've lived here.
All right, so what is the best aspect of living in a city, and what do you like about living in a city?
I would say the best aspect of living in a city would be being so close to everything.
The ease of access to everything. Everything's in really close proximity to you.
Everything is within reach. Grocery store, banks, hospitals, everything is convenient.
It's very centrally located.
Being able to walk every place which we can. Where I walk to work most of the time when I'm not working at home, which is great. And, the Museum of Modern Art is a few blocks away, and Carnegie Hall and Lincoln Center and all these things, and that's fantastic.
It's also a very diverse community.
I like the density. I like the cosmopolitanism of it. I like being surrounded by bright people from all over the world who choose to live here.
On the flip side, what's the worst aspect? What do you hate about being in a city?
Sometimes it's really loud and there's almost not a lot of personal space, I feel like.
A lot of buildings that aren't taken care of. It was a factory town and very active during World War II. And then when the industry moved out, it left a lot of abandoned buildings.
You'd have I always wanted a big yard or something to play in when I was little. You don't have that in a city.
No, you don't. You definitely don't have a yard. How has your neighborhood changed over your time living here?
The thing that has changed in our neighborhood over these years, it's become a big tourist destination. It always was, New York, but there's more hotels around here and just more foot traffic. It's kind of, the day-to-day of moving down the street is a little exhausting. And
my neighborhood hasn't changed very much. My immediate neighborhood is just a regular middle-class neighborhood.
Over the years, and especially the past few years, it's gotten to be a little bit sketchier on some parts of my street.
New York's become a much harder place for artists and musicians to live, and it's really made it a less appealing place for us.
The city, sadly, I think the city is getting, at least Manhattan in the city is getting very affluent.
Apartments are selling over $1,000 a foot in our neighborhood now, or, whatever these markers are. And I walk around and go, can you buy a quart of milk? Can you get your shoes fixed? How many double lattes, can you drink in those 17 fancy coffee bars if you don't have a functioning city?
Not a lot of low-income or even middle-income housing. So if you want to do that, you have to move to the outside of the city where there's lower-income housing, as opposed to everyone living all together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you know about any environmental problems that your city faces and what they're doing to help fix that problem?
There are quite a few environmental problems here. A lot of the buildings use incineration compactors where they burn their trash and then they release it out of the top of the buildings, and it creates a little more black smoke above the city than we would like, and also littering. And I think maybe more funding or greener options for trash disposal could help with that issue.
Trash is a big part of it. There's a lot of litter. Our city dump is only open a couple of days a month, and they only take certain things. So you see a lot of people discarding couches and furniture on the side of the road. So if they had a better recycling program, and
Our environment has really, really gotten better in the 40 plus years that I've lived here. So where our rivers used to be just dumping grounds for anything, now people go there and they're fishing and they're boating and they're, having recreational activities there. So that's a big improvement in our city.
flood control project in a city or town, because every time it rained, there was a lot of flooding in Harbor Brook, which flooded a lot of businesses. So they built a park in the center of town to try to divert the water.
Can you describe your experience with some of the green spaces in the city and how you utilize those?
Well, there's many parks, and Hubbard Park being a big park here was...
So there's actually like a fair amount of parks. I live within a mile of at least 3 that I can think of, and I would go there a lot when I was younger. I still go there a lot now.
It offers quite a bit as far as green spaces go.
How do you feel the education system is in the city?
The New York City public schools are amazing.
I think that Worcester has a great education system.
And, it's a very robust institution, public schools, in a number of different ways. Is it equal and fair for parents and kids?
There is an inequality in some neighborhoods, in lower income neighborhoods. For example, where I grew up and was raised, it's East Harlem, and there they don't have parents who have, they're not as financially stable as some parents, let's say where I live now in the Upper East Side. So in neighborhoods that have, families with more money, they can donate time or money or resources to the public schools, as opposed to lower income, areas where the parents have to work but don't have the money or the time to donate to the schools, and that just makes an inequality in the resources and teaching and I guess the caring sometimes for the kids.
Thank you for your time, Rose. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. All right.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you too. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming down here. Back to you at the show.